All right, guys, at this point, I'm just going to be honest with you. There's no discussion. There's no debate. There's no conversation, okay? Florida Highway Patrol is the worst highway patrol department in America to run from. And they just taken the cake with this most recent addition, right? Georgia State, Arkansas State, Texas State, North, South Carolina State, they're second to Florida Highway Patrol. They are now bringing a 2023, which was seized from a drug dealer, a 2023 Chevrolet Corvette C8 Stingray will be utilized to support Florida's Highway Patrol's mission on keeping our roadways and highways safe, which means they're bringing a Corvette C8 Stingray to the highway to arrest people, pull you over, and most importantly, get into high-speed chases with. Do you really think you're outrunning a C8 Stingray? A C8, by the way, not a C7, a C8. Florida just took they took it to a whole nother level. We got to talk about it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video, man. So you can tell them in the house that makes us a house vlog. You know what's going down when I come around. Let's get into it. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So I'm not even going to waste your time any more than I already have. What am I looking at here? Florida Highway Patrol adds a C8 Chevy Corvette to patrol car fleet. Let me read that again. Florida Highway Patrol adds a C8 Chevy Corvette to patrol car fleet. Yeah. If you've ever seen a C8 Corvette, extremely low to the ground, little to no, room as far as stretching out is concerned, right? I can only imagine what the cockpit looks like, because when you're a trooper, you got to have your laptop, you got to have, all sorts of equipment and all that good stuff. It's probably pretty tight in there. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it's probably not comfortable at all. But you don't add a C8 Corvette for comfortability. You add it for performance. Let's look at it. C8 Corvette was seized from a drug dealer and now will be used for community outreach, as well as enforcing traffic laws. Police forces across America are known to occasionally add American muscle cars. Why is my TV talking to me now? All right, so like I know that, we've seen cops do this in the past. We've seen police departments do this in the past, highway patrol officers. We've seen them add Hellcats. We've seen them add Scat Packs, Chargers, and Challengers. We've seen them take Dodge Rams. I mean, what else? What else have we seen them do? Mustangs, Camaros in the past. But they've never taken a Corvette, to my knowledge, especially a C8. Now, they used to have Corvettes back in the day, at least in North Carolina. They did used to have the old, I don't know what generation or whatever. But I do remember seeing Corvettes as a highway patrol on duty with highway patrol years ago. Now, this is like in the 90s. I might have been, 3, 4, 5 years old. But I do remember them having the Corvettes back then. And then they, of course, had the Camaros as well. But to see a C8 generation is different. Let me read this here. Police forces across America are known to occasionally add American muscle cars to their fleets, but the Florida Highway Patrol, aka FHP, has just one-upped all of them by adding a C8 generation Chevrolet Corvette to their garage. And don't worry, taxpayers are not paying for it, or don't worry, tax-paying Floridians, it was confiscated, not bought. And that was because it was confiscated from a drug dealer. So here it is right here. This is on their official Instagram page. This beauty has been through some rough camera angles recently. Finally, some shots worthy of an introduction. This one is a 2023 Chevrolet Corvette C8 Stingray. Will be utilized to support the Florida Highway Patrol's mission of keeping our roadways and highways safe, and will be seen at various educational outreach events. I think they used to have and I don't know if it was Florida Highway Patrol, but there was a police department in Florida that had a slim body Hellcat Challenger, and they used to do similar things like this, where they would, I guess, use it for police work, and then they would also use it to take it to like schools and stuff like that and put on presentations. So they do that as well. It's not just for highway patrol use. They also use it for, as they say, community outreach programs as well. The Corvette was seized by Florida Highway Patrol in partnership with the Drug Enforcement Administration Task Force, DEA. It was not purchased with state funds. They want you to know that, because years ago, and this was like 2016, 2017, there was a police department down in Georgia that actually went out and purchased a Hellcat Charger. And this is back when the Hellcat Chargers were like 66, 68, maybe 70,000. They took the taxpayers' money. Well, not the taxpayers' money, but this was seized money. They took seized money from like a drug deal or a drug bust, and they went out and bought a Dodge Charger Hellcat. And the city raised so much hell about it, they actually made them end up selling it. They made them sell it, right? They made Georgia, that particular department in Georgia, they made them sell it. You know what I mean? So what a lot of police departments and highway patrol departments will do now is when they seize a high performance car, instead of, auctioning it off, it's theirs. They're going to repurpose it. Let's see here. Of course, the official YouTube page that this is all from is Nick Off Duty. I've been watching him for some years now, man. I remember because for some reason I have a kind of a infatuation with like gear and like EDC type stuff. I love that type stuff, and I love watching police car tours, where they tour different cop cars, and the cop car is always loaded from front to back with a whole bunch of equipment and EDC type stuff, obviously stuff to help on the roads and help pedestrians and so on and so forth. So I always watched his channel, so I know exactly who this dude is. He's down in Florida. I'm not sure if he is a current officer or if he is a former, but yeah, he's definitely tapped in with Florida Highway Patrol, and I think he does other videos with like Miami-Dade and other departments in Florida, whatever the case may be. So go to his page to watch the official video. I don't want to take any clips from his channel. I want you guys to go over there. But Chevy Corvette, man, it was seized, right? Rarely do cops climb behind the wheel to do patrol work in these seized cars. But with the Corvette, it will certainly be taken apart and generating goodwill amongst Florida residents. And it's also going to be enforcing traffic laws on the street. Now, if you've ever sat in a Corvette, extremely impractical. Little to no, visibility angles outside the window. It's not comfortable at all. It's honestly made for one person, if you ask me. I don't even think it's made for two people, even though obviously it's a two-door. I don't even think it's made for that, because I was sitting in the passenger seat with another grown man in the, driver's seat, pause, and it was not comfortable at all. You know what I'm saying? So it's really kind of a one-person play car. Like, we're going to have fun with this type deal. I can only imagine being a highway patrol officer. You got your bulletproof vest on. You got your body cam. I'm sure they got to have some sort of mobile terminal station, right? Like a computer or an iPad or something like that. Can you imagine being in a C8 and you're typing like this, dealing with that, and then you got to deal with your printer so that you can print out the ticket and all that shit. So it's probably not the most practical car, but at the same time, if you see this damn thing behind you chasing you, you might want to go ahead and pull over, man. So I was unaware what the Stingray could do, because we always talk about Z06 and we always talk about Z06. Let me brighten you up a little bit. We always talk about Z06s and what's the other one? ZR1s, right? The top of the top. But if you come over here, literally when I typed in Chevy Corvette C8 Stingray, the first question was, is this Corvette faster than a Hellcat? Let me see here. That was literally the first question that popped up. But when you come over here to the Stingray, 490 horsepower with the 6.2 liter V8 engine. That's a 2025 Chevrolet Corvette. So I'm not sure what the 23s were doing, but I'm sure they were doing something similar. 490 horsepower with the 6.2 liter V8 engine, optional Z51 performance package. This increases to 495, right? So you got a 6.2 liter V8, 490 horsepower, and let's look at the weight. 2020, well, I shouldn't have to do all that. Chevrolet Corvette Stingray weight. Come on, bro. 3,500 pounds. Stop it. 490 horsepower out of a 3,500 pound car. That's getting scats, right? 392s, goodbye. RTs, goodbye. Obviously RTs. SS Camaros, goodbye. Ford Mustang 5.0s, goodbye. Unless you're modified or something like that. They say it could be around 3,600, 33,670. But realistically, about 3,500 pounds, 490 horsepower from a 6.2 liter V8. So same size engine as the Hellcat without the supercharger on top. Bigger engine, well, not bigger, but same size engine as the Hellcat, but without the supercharger on top. These things move. You already know that. I mean, the last video that I did on the Corvette Z06 went absolutely crazy, which is leading me to believe that you guys might actually want me to trade my Hellcat in and get a Corvette and turn this into a Chevy channel. Probably not going to do that anytime soon. But either way, if you see a C8 Stingray behind you, you need to have some power. You know what I'm saying? You need to have a cat or a demon, a red eye, jailbreak, something. Right? If you're a Mopar guy, you need to have some sort of power in order to get away from these things. I mean, not to mention at 3,500 pounds, still, still on the heavier side, but it's an American sports car. So what do you expect? But at 3,500 pounds, 490 horsepower, this thing is cutting in and out of traffic. It's cutting right through the wind. It's accelerating with ease. It's a light body. It's moving. It's low to the ground. It's aerodynamic. This thing is everything that a Charger or a Challenger is not, straight up and down. Simple and plain. It's everything that a Charger or a Challenger is not, unless you're driving a Cat or a Demon or something of that sort, some sort of variation of one of those two. But anything under a Cat, you're getting caught, right? I don't know if they're going to perform a pit maneuver in a C8. That's a good question. I don't think they would perform a pit maneuver in the C8, but it's one of those things like, if that C8 is basically in your back seat, you're not going anywhere. You know, if you're in the Scat and you're trying to get away from the C8 and that thing is literally in your back seat just looking at you, you're not going anywhere. All right. They don't have to pit maneuver you because you're not going to outrun them straight up and down. And you're probably going to run out of gas well before, they do. You know what I'm saying? 61,000 MSRP for a Stingray. That's the base model, so no telling what type of model they have. How much horsepower? We've already talked about that, 495, 6.2 liter V8. I mean, come on now. Of course, it's faster than the Camaro, not a Dodge Demon. They're talking about other stuff. They're talking about the Z06 and the ZR1. But so with all that being said, guys, I mean, let's just be honest here. The C8, of course, is wrapped in the traditional FHP livery, right? I remember that word from Formula One, because that's what they call it. Is it livery or livery? I'm pretty sure it's livery. I don't know, livery. But so it's going to look just like a FHP State Trooper car would. It's going to look just like a Hemi, or it's going to look just like I don't know what other cars they have in rotation other than the Hemi. I'm sure they have an SUV variant of some sort, but it's going to look just like a Florida Highway Patrol State Trooper. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have the emergency lights on the bumper, on the side, in the rear, in the front, all that good stuff. So it's going to look like a police car, a functional police car. Trust me when I say. So you won't be able to transport anyone to jail because obviously it's a two-seater. The vet is set up with the police computer, printer, and everything else needed to make it a functional patrol car. So even though it's going to be tight in there, it's going to have, everything, all the trimmings of a patrol car. So when you see this car, don't fuck around with it. Like if you're in Florida and you see this, don't try to race it. Like this is a legitimate police car. This is a legitimate highway patrol car, right? And it will go after you and it will catch you and it will give you a ticket and all that good stuff. So, I mean, don't mess around with this. Let's look at some other pages here. Yeah, so that's it from the front right there. That black on, I don't even know what kind of color you would call that, like a khaki. Black khaki, and then the yellow State Trooper on the side of it. Mid-engine Chevy, I always forget that. 22-year FHP veteran is the one that's going to be driving it. So, I mean, if you just got out of highway patrol school, 9 times out of 10, you're not driving this, right? This is going to be reserved for the veteran, somebody who's been on the force for years. You know what I'm saying? And, of course, go to, once again, Nick Off Duty and watch the entire video over there as far as the unveiling is concerned. I watched it on TikTok and it was wild. It was wild without a doubt. But like I said, guys, I understand GSP has Chevy Camaros. I understand GSP has Ford Mustangs. I understand GSP has Chargers and Challengers, right? And I'm sure they probably even have Hellcats. Every department at this point has a 392 or a Hellcat on chill. I mean, North Carolina Highway Patrol, I know for a fact they have a Hellcat Charger on chill. I've seen Hellcats in Florida. I've seen Hellcats in Georgia. Arkansas, maybe not so much. I've only ever seen 5.7s and Ford Explorers and maybe even Ford Tauruses in Arkansas. So they don't get a lot of exotic cars over there. And I think once they seize your car, like it goes up for auction. They're not outfitting it for police duty. You know what I'm saying? But in Florida, they're going to do just that. Now, I don't know the laws behind that, kind of the legality behind that. Like, what allows you to use this person's car for police duty as opposed to the other cars that you seize? Like, I'm sure many a drug dealer gets busted and their property gets seized, and it's like, we should just take his car and use it as a cop car. Like, can you imagine seeing McLarens, police duty, Mercedes AMGs, police duty? You know what I mean? So it's like, what constitutes a particular car for police duty? Because there's nothing practical about a C8. No one's looking at a C8 and saying that would be a good highway patrol. Like, there's nothing practical about it. It's small, it's tight, it's got terrible angles for viewing. Nothing about it is practical. The only thing practical about it is the performance of it. But I mean, this is Florida, and Florida can do whatever they want. And that's why I'm saying Florida is number one. Worst department to play with, man. I'm going to go Florida. You guys check me on this, and this will be the end of the video. Florida Highway Patrol at the top. Let's go top three. Florida Highway Patrol. I'm going to go GSP, just because I feel like GSP has a higher success rate when it comes to police chases, right? And because they have Chargers, Challengers, Camaros, Ford Mustangs, they got it all down there. I've seen it all down there. And then Arkansas State Police. And I'm going to say Arkansas at number 3 because Arkansas probably has the most police chases, but they're not always the most successful. So they don't have the accuracy percentage. Every video that I've seen with Florida Highway Patrol, they caught them. Probably 8, 9 out of 10 videos that I've seen with GSP, they caught them. And then Arkansas, although they have the most police chases, I think, out of both departments, I think you got a better chance of getting away from Arkansas than you do the other two. So I'm going FHP, GSP, and then ASP. You guys tell me how you feel about that. Am I off? But if you want to see the full unveiling, go to Nick Off Duty, his YouTube channel, and show him some love over there. But if you're in Florida, yeah, man, you're fucked. I would not try it in Florida. Florida, I wouldn't try it. Once you cross that line and you get to Georgia, and you know what I'm saying, you get from there, maybe, but not in Florida. I wouldn't do it. That's just me personally. You know what I'm saying? But as always, guys, like, subscribe, comment. It's been your boy Knockout 360. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.